Section 6, question 2. That's a non-calculator question. The expression root 3 sin x minus cos x can be written in the form k sin x minus a. Calculate the values of k and a, and then there's part b. So I'm going to first of all tackle part a. So root 3 sin x minus cos x is equal to k sin x minus a. Now remember that the sin minus expansion is sin cos minus cos sin, so that's going to be root 3 sin x minus cos x is equal to k, we'll put up a rectangular bracket, sin x cos a minus cos x sin a. Close that rectangular bracket. So that's root 3 sin x minus cos x is equal to, I'm just going to flip these round as I exit the bracket, so it's going to be equal to k cos a sin x minus k sin a cos x. Now we can see clearly that the coefficient of sin x is root 3, the coefficient of sin x is k cos a, therefore k cos a is equal to root 3. We can then see clearly again that the coefficient of cos x is minus 1, the coefficient of cos x is minus k sin a, therefore minus k sin a is equal to minus 1. And if that's the case, then k sin a is equal to plus 1. So I'm then going to divide both. So k over k goes, sin over cos is tan, and I've got tan a equals 1 over root 3. It's a degrees question, so I'm going to get my cast diagram up. And sine's positive, so I'm in on sine, and cos is positive, I'm in on cos. I actually should have did that bit up there, but I've got 2 ticks in all quadrants, so that's where I am. So a equals tan inverse 1 over root 3, and my angle there, it's an exact value, that's 30 degrees. And they're going to find k. So k is the square root of a squared plus b squared. So that's the square root of root 3 squared plus minus 1 squared. That's the square root of 3 plus 1, root 4, and that's equal to 2. So the wave function then is 2 sine x minus 30 degrees. That's part A. Part B says, determine the maximum value of 4 plus 5 cos x minus 5 root 3 sin x, where x lies between 0 and 360. Now that kind of looks as if it's unrelated to part A, but I think it's fair bet that it's actually not, and we can use our answer for part A to proceed with part B. So the wave function root 3 sin x minus cos x is a single trigonometric function, could be written as 2 sin x minus 30. Now I'm going to call root 3 sin x minus cos x g of x, and remember root 3 sin x minus cos x is just 2 sin x minus 30, so I'm going to call that g of x. Now we can see clearly that that's got a maximum value of 2. Now if I then transformed that function and multiplied it by minus 5, then you can see now that root 3 sin x would become 5 root 3 sin x, and minus cos x would become minus 5 cos x, rather plus 5 cos x. I could then rewrite that as minus 5 g of x equals 5 cos x, and that should be a minus there. minus 5 root 3 sine x. Now I can then also say that I've multiplied this function by minus 5, so the function can also be written as 2 sine x minus 30. So that means that that thing here is equal to minus 10 sine x minus 30. So I've just multiplied the 2 sine x minus 30 by minus 5 to get minus 10 sine x minus 30. Now I'm going to transform the function again for another new function, which is going to be minus 5 g of x plus 4. So I'm going to go back to minus 5 g of x as written here, 5 cos x minus 5 root 3 sine x. So if I add on 4 to that, that can now be written as 5 cos x minus 5 root 3 sine x plus 4. Now you can see pretty clearly that that is that function then. It's the exact same thing. Now we know that this bit here, the underlined, we know that that can also be rewritten as minus 10 sine x minus 30. And we're just now adding on a 4 at the end. Now in terms of its maximum value, well, the maximum value of this part of the function, if I was to say that that was a separate function, 10 sine x minus 30, then obviously its maximum value would be 10. Now if I then put a minus in front of it, all it means is that that function has been flipped across the x-axis. So its maximum value would still be 10. So for this bit, it would go up to 10 down to minus 10. The bit that was at minus 10 would flip over and now go up to 10. So the maximum value for this part of the function then, if that was a separate function, would still be 10. But if I then add on 4 at the end, that means the maximum value of this function must be equal to 14. And that's the end of the question.